Hey there YouTube, Wrestling Optimus here, back with another action figure review. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Time for AEW Dynamite on TNT. Damn, it feels good to say that again, after a month of AEW taking a back seat to the NBA. Even better, starting next week, we head back out on the road for the first time in well over a year. In fact, this will mark the beginning of a 4-week stretch of special episodes. However, first we need to say goodbye to the pandemic era, so make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as we head into my custom dailies place one last time. Now, for a recap and review, let's take it over to the action figures. Chris Jericho joins commentary for some reason, as Eddie Kingston and Penta El-Zero-M team up against the Young Bucks, who are sporting impressive new facial hair. Both Penta and Kingston run wild on hot tags, with the luchador even scoring a near fall that elicits chants of, "That was 3." The Bucks return the favor with a package pile driver for a near fall of their own. Suddenly, the Good Brothers distract the referee while Brandon Cutler tries to use the spray, but Penta ducks and he winds up spraying Matt instead. In the chaos, Frankie Kazarian appears and takes out Cutler. Penta wipes out the field with a plancha, then hits a package pile driver on Matt Jackson for the win. Backstage, Christian congratulates Jungle Boy on his match with Kenny Omega last week before Luchasaurus walks in and thanks him for having Jungle Boy's back while he was gone. So now, he and Jurassic Express have Christian's back against the Hardy family office. Tony Schiavone attempts to interview Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, but the crowd drowns them out with a chorus of boos. Page goes on anyway and explains that Darby Allin is hard to beat physically, so the coffin match is designed to cripple him mentally. The Icon Sting comes out dragging a coffin behind him, then we cut to one of Darby's black and white vignettes. He uses a flamethrower to torch a coffin before we come back to see him jump out of Sting's coffin and attack the Men of the Year. However, Page grabs a mic and calls off the match. Instead, he wants it in writing that Darby can't touch him, and only if he behaves might they have a match at Fyter Fest. Jungle Boy is back to face Matt Hardy's mercenary Jack Evans, and it's awesome hearing a live crowd sing along to his theme song. In short order, he picks up his record-setting 50th win in AEW with the snare trap submission. MJF cuts a promo accusing Chris Jericho of trying to make the Pinnacle look like a joke when in reality, Chris is the joke. And if Sammy Guevara is the future of pro wrestling, then MJF is the present. Alex Abrahantes interviews Andrade El Idolo. He says he's going to make an example out of Matt Sydal for interrupting him last week. That sets up a match between the two at Road Rager in Miami. Kenny Omega comes out and rattles off all the people he's beaten as champion. Then he announces that with no more worthy challengers, he's taking a break. But Evil Uno and the Dark Order have something to say about that. Omega laughs since none of them are ranked high enough to challenge him, to which Uno agrees, but he says they know someone who is. Kenny responds that the person he's thinking of doesn't have the guts to face him and bids them adieu. Brian Pillman Jr. cuts a promo ahead of his match against TNT champion Miro, who has new music and a new gimmick, calling himself God's favorite champion. Miro absolutely dominates through a commercial break until Pillman uses the crowd's energy to launch a super kick-fueled comeback. But Miro catches one and responds with some Machka kicks of his own before sinking in the game over to score the victory. Hangman Adam Page storms into the Dark Order's lounge, drink in hand, and scolds them for speaking on his behalf, but they say he deserves that title shot. When he asks if they think he's scared of Kenny, they say no, he's scared of failure. but it's okay to fail, and win or lose, they'll have his back. John Silver says they believe in Page, while Alex Reynolds says it's Hangman's time. Taz, with Hook and Hobbs, admits their team isn't doing well, so Brian Cage and a medically cleared Absolute Ricky Starks will work out their differences on Night 1 of Fyter Fest in a few weeks. Time for a very interesting match as Nyla Rose and her manager Vicky Guerrero take on AEW Women's Champion Dr. Britt Baker DMD and her assistant Rebel. Things start with Vicky getting knocked on her ass before tagging in Nyla to do the literal heavy lifting as she body slams Rebel multiple times. During a commercial, she pulls a Devon Dudley and gets a table but doesn't use it. She continues beating up Rebel until Britt Baker kicks Vicky into her, knocking the native beast off the top rope and allowing the dentist to sink in a lockjaw and pick up the victory. Afterwards, though, Nyla sneaks up from behind, powerbombs Baker, and puts her through the aforementioned table to help soften up the champ ahead of their title match. The Inner Circle cuts a promo on the Pinnacle. Jake Hager says he was starting to respect Wardlow after their MMA cage fight, but then he went and punched Dean Malenko. Meanwhile, Proud and Powerful say that if Tully is going to be in FTR's corner, then Conan is going to be in theirs. In the main event, MJF takes on the Spanish god Sammy Guevara. What's interesting is that MJF's character does everything he can to avoid fighting, but once forced to do so, he's actually really good. Somehow, he manages to keep up with Sammy's speed as Guevara goes full Will Ospreay in a brilliant mix of high-flying and chain wrestling. They brawl around the outside through a commercial. Back in the ring, Sammy nails a picture-perfect springboard Canadian destroyer, but MJF escapes the pin attempt. When he tries to use a chair, Guevara kicks it back into MJF's face, then flies off the top rope and over a barricade, seemingly knocking MJF out. But Max recovers just in time to hit a tombstone piledriver, only getting a 2 count and injuring his knee in the process. Sammy nails a 630 splash, but somehow MJF kicks out at 2. Then, Shawn Spears makes his way out of the tunnel, so Jericho runs over to confront him, only to be attacked from behind by Wardlow and thrown into the Timekeeper's area. This distracts the ref, allowing Spears to hit Sammy in the head with a chair. Bryce Remsburg can tell something happened, but is forced to count the 1, 2, 3 anyway, as MJF and the bad guys stand tall. Dynamite goes off the air with a tribute video to the pandemic era and Daly's Place, set to a song by one of my favorite bands, the Dirty Heads. There was something strangely magical and beautiful about these shows that I'm actually going to miss a lot. Farewell, Jacksonville, and thanks for all the memories. That was a perfectly well-balanced wrestling show with lots of storyline progression, great action, and tons of build towards the coming weeks. More importantly, that video package at the end really served to highlight just how special these last 15 months have been, and reminded me how grateful I am that AEW was there to help all of us get through the hard times. I for one can't wait to see what else they have in store for us in the future, so instead of a rating, I just want to say thank you. Alright, that'll do it for AEW Dynamite on TNT. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I'll be back this weekend with a quick video that I've been working on, and then again next Thursday with my action figure review of AEW Road Rager. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to do all that normal YouTube stuff. Smash the like button, share with any wrestling or action figure fans you may know, subscribe to the channel, and spread the word. You can also talk to me over on Twitter at WrestlingOptimus, or see all my best figure photography over on Instagram at WrestlingOptimus. If you haven't seen my mid-year rewind of all the action in the Predictions Championship League over the last 6 months, you can check that out right here. But until next time, I've been Wrestling Optimus, and I'll catch you later.